Right, hello everyone. Welcome to GametechUK. Hopefully have more luck tonight. I had a few tracking issues last night. Playing a Super Stardust Ultra HD. So today what I'm going to do is to chat to you. I'm going to get it up on my phone because the problem I encountered yesterday when I was doing a live stream for Drive Club. And every time I took my the VR helmet off or the headset to chat to you, it would reset the game, and then I'd have trouble getting back in. So let's have a look. Turn that down, and then I can literally just look below me and see what's going on in the chat. Hello, Blockish, how you doing? Hang on, I've got to put the sound up to my headset. 2 seconds, guys. That's it, that's better. Actually, just make sure the recording is on there. Looking rocket total donut now, looking underneath there. Right, here we go. Okay, so that should work better for me. So now I can just look below now. Hello, yeah, I'll call Blue Tame. What, for PC you got that? And yeah, that's good. That's good. You'll be able to join us now, won't you? Right, let me just make sure that is all good, volume-wise. I think we're rocking and rolling. Yeah, so now I should be able to just leave that down there like that, concentrate on the game, and then every now and again just have a look below me. Yeah, so that's the thing with streaming VR. I love streaming VR, I love it. But yeah, it can be a little bit awkward with chatting to the subs that come in, you know. Hello Rob, how you doing, mate? Just waiting for this to catch up on my phone, so just looking down at my phone just to make sure that it's streaming correctly, as it should be. Is it black? Oh no, it should be coming up. Why is it not coming up? It's probably quite a delay on the phone. Yeah, I'm just going to wait 2 seconds, everyone, just until I've seen it. Look at this game now, it looks absolutely awesome. I think it's done it again. Why am I not getting anything? It should be streaming okay. Right, 2 seconds. Oh, it's all go, isn't it? I know what I've done. Right, now that should work. Bloody nightmare, isn't it? Right, let me just catch up. I know, Blockish, I know. It should be alright now. It should be fine. It's worth spending just a couple of minutes at the start just to make sure it's all good. That's better, isn't it? That's better now, isn't it, Blockish? Oh, that's good. Right, let's get in and have a game. Hello, Moody. How you doing? Right, I was streaming last night actually, Moody. I had a bit of trouble actually with tracking issues, and it seemed to be when I was doing Drive Club VR. So I had the steering wheel out and. That is working, isn't it? Yes, it is. Right, I can hear it. Yeah. Right, yeah. So I had the steering wheel out. I was doing Drive Club, and every time I went over to the laptop, I took the headset off, or pretty much off, and it just kept resetting. It messed around with the tracking, messed around with the game. It was a bit of a nightmare. So what I've done is this time, the good thing I like about the PlayStation VR, it's got this little button that you press underneath. You just press that there and you can just release the headset, the actual screen bit, forward a little bit, and I've got my phone just below me, so it's awesome. So now I can have a chat. I don't have to move from my position. I can have a chat with you on the phone, and everything's fine. Yeah, Alistair, I've done a nice old router reset. So I'm quite excited about this game. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so now I can just literally stay here, and I can peer down at it, have it on my little leg there, and that's fine. Let me just have a look at the actual stream itself. That looks okay. Yeah, looks alright, doesn't it? I'm going to turn the quality right down because I don't need major quality on my phone. 144, that'd be alright. Right, let's play Stardust Ultra. Now this is actually it's actually an old game, a really old game actually. It used to be called just Stardust HD, if I remember rightly, and I actually had it on the PlayStation 3, and it was it was about 4 games that supported a 3D TV, and I had a 3D TV years ago when they first come out. And I used to play this game for hours on 3D. So put the 3D glasses on and plays it on the screen. It was one of my most impressive games to play for actually, you know, for visuals. And I was really hoping that the 3D thing was going to take off, but it didn't. It got dropped very, very quickly. So now let's see what it looks like. I've literally played for about 10 minutes in this game. I wanted to save it for the stream. So now you see, while I'm setting up, I can have a chat to you. It's brilliant. And no one's chatting, so that's good. Right, let's get in there and let's have a look. So we've only got the starting planet at the moment. Most importantly, does it sound okay? Let me have a little quick listen. It sounds alright, doesn't it? And it was quite annoying. Last night I was having to mess around with the mic, and it was just, I knew that I was annoying myself, let alone any subs. I kept banging the mic, the tracking kept going. It's not as sweet to stream as the Oculus, and VR isn't as easy to stream as a normal game. Keyboard and mouse, looking over to the left, doing the comments. It's you know, you've got something on your head. You know what I mean? Right, I should imagine you all know the basics of this game. It's a twin stick shooter, so you've got your left analog stick, which does the movement.
Get ready.
So you've got the left analog stick which does the movement. The right analog stick shoots the bullets. Now, I don't know how much this is, the fun that's going to convey, or the VR effect is going to convey to the 2D screen on the stream. You're going to have to give me some feedback on there, because I can play this for hours. This is just such a refreshing change, and back to the old school. I absolutely love it. It gets really hard though, that is the only problem. But there's actually some. So if we talk about this as a money-making exercise, you know, a lot of developers ride the train. So they ride. Firstly, they ride the new console train. So one game that springs to mind is Rayman. Now, every single console or handheld or anything that comes out, they wheel out Rayman. And I remember that back from, you know, everything, PlayStation 1, the Wii, PlayStation 2, you know, the DS, everything, the PSP, anything that come out, the Wii U, everything had a Rayman on it, you know, and it can be a bit annoying. I ended up buying them though. That was the only trouble. When I look back, I think, what did I buy them for? Because they market it right, and it's lovely for a developer to wheel out this gravy train, and it must be a good feeling to know that you started off with a product that could just get rehashed over the years. Some of them were good. There was the last one, I can't remember what it was called. It went back to sort of the side-scrolling sort of origins, and it was pretty good. But mostly what they've done, they just wheel out the same game on a different format, which I absolutely hate that. I don't think that's right at all. Now, you may be looking at this game thinking, well, it's just like Stardust HD. It's the standard thing that was on the PlayStation 3 ages ago. And this element, yes, you're totally right. It does look exactly the same, except it looks beautiful in VR. It really does look nice. You know, the backdrop is pretty cool, although we're not looking at that. That space station's quite cool. You've got two views for the planet. You've got a faraway view and a closer in view. But what the developer have actually done with this title, they've actually introduced a whole new VR section, which we'll play this for a little while, and then we'll go across to that. And it is pretty good. And this, I think it was $24.99. This game, I think. But the Sony store is actually having a sale at the moment. Now, yesterday I was streaming Drive Club VR, which was originally $34.99, then went down to $29.99. But I got that for $19.99, which I thought was fantastic for streaming, although I did have tracking issues with the bloody PlayStation VR, but I think it's solved now. And you got this, which was, as I say, $24.99, but it's gone down to £10. Now, there's no way on earth, with how dry VR content is at the moment, that you're going to moan at £10 for this game. This is a proper relaxing, old-fashioned shooter, and it is really good. I definitely recommend it for £10 any day of the week. You can see it's worth 10 quid any day. The VR effect of the actual world, the world in front of me, is really, really convincing. And not only that, it's got loads of really awesome looking particle effects, which I absolutely love. I love particle effects, especially in 3D. I mean, when you die, I haven't died yet, when you die, oh my god, it looks awesome. I wish they'd use a little bit more of it actually in the game, because you have to wait until you die for the ultimate 3D effect. It's brilliant. Now, I'm just rambling on quite a lot, so I'm just going to make sure that you can hear me before I continue. And it's nice now, I can just sort of pause it, keep in exactly the same position, and just do it again. Right, let's have a look. Latency looks good though, Jason. Yes, it is. Yep, it's all good. There's nothing wrong with this. Nice and smooth stream. Awesome. Checked out the intro I made you. He hasn't bloody checked it out. That's terrible. How you doing, Smoothie? All right. Glad you're here, mate. Glad you're here. Doing a bit of a VR stream this evening. Diego, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. I take it you can hear me okay. Can you just let me know as I'm scrolling down the comments? Please let me know that I'm okay, the voice and the sound and the game and everything. Is this PS4 VR? Yes, it is, Diego. Yes, it is. It's just recently been on sale. That's nice, Smoothie. Oh, okay. Can you get it for PC? I don't think you can get the VR version. No, you can't get the VR version. The VR version, I think, is only. I'm not going to say 100%, but it's only for PlayStation at the moment. You can hear us. Thanks for the intro. Your voice is serenading our ears beautifully, Jason. No homo. Yes, I got that. I got the no homo bit. The only thing I don't like about this PlayStation VR, it's got this sort of plastic nose piece that is actually quite irritating. I never know whether to push it forward and slide it over my nose or put it in. It is a bit weird. But I really do appreciate the fact that you can just press this button under here. So the PlayStation VR has got sort of two settings, if you like. You've got one at the back where you push a button in to expand the back over your head, and then once it's on the head, then you've got this one here which slides the actual screen. I don't know if you can see that. It slides the screen in and out, so obviously if you've got glasses, if you've got a big old fat face, it's gonna fit. And it's a really good design feature, it really is. And it means that I can just press the button and look down. The Oculus has got it's almost like a bit missing around the nose, and when I first got it I was very much like, oh, I'm just gonna, that's a distraction. But it's really good because all you have to do is sort of look down your nose, tilt your head up a little bit, you can see where the keyboard is, you can see where the touch controllers is. Awesome. Right, let's carry on. I've got a big nose, that would piss me off. Yeah, definitely, yeah. And we've got 8 watching, so hello to everyone who's watching. Appreciate those likes. And if you haven't already subbed, feel free to sub. Lots of VR content, PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, and gaming with Moody Gamer, who's in the chat now. We do a lot of work together, but this is the VR side of my channel you're experiencing tonight. Right, let's carry on. Let's carry on. So we'll do a couple of matches on, not matches, a couple of sessions on here, and then I'll take you over to the VR section that this developer has introduced for value for money, really. And I'm really, that's one of my the things. That's why I like it so much. The fact that they haven't just done a lazy pull. I can't stand a lazy pull. They thought to themselves, okay, we'll port this over. It's going to be an easy sell because there's not much out at the moment, and it is quite an impressive VR title. But they've got one step further and sort of introduced some really good features. Actually, that is almost like a separate game. So I suppose they did that because initially it was $24.99. I think it went down very quickly to 20 quid, but I think initially it was $24.99. So I suppose they had to put something in. But now at the moment it's £10 on the Oculus, on the PlayStation Store, and I thought this has got to be worth £10. It's got to be. Put the bomb out. Look at that.
Bomb. Weapon up.
It's such a great little game.
Bomb.
It gets hard quite quickly. Right, I've got nimble thumbs, so that's all good. So tell me if you want me to ramble away. I could talk for hours. Or whether you want to just enjoy the game. It looks good though, doesn't it? I like the background, and all the action is right in front of you. I've gone through today and moved my PlayStation camera. I've gone through all the tracking. Everything is looking sweet. I've cleaned the lenses. I'm going to be getting into the PlayStation VR in a big way now. I did buy it as an investment for the channel. And I've only been in this room. If you know my channel, you know that I used to actually do all my streaming from my office. I've got an office in the house where I run my business from. And it was just a bit of a pain. The Oculus was there set up all the time because it was on my PC. So that was, for laziness, that always got first option. And then I think I'm just in the habit of using the Oculus first. But now I've got everything set up. I can stream at any time. Anything in the, I'm in a separate gaming room now, and everything is to hand. Everything's set up. So there's really no reason, apart from lack of content, why I can't do more PlayStation VR stuff. PlayStation VR is a bit dry at the moment, but then so was the Oculus when it first came out. The Oculus has just hit 1 year. And only now are we starting to see titles that are worth spending on. I mean, don't even start me off about the Steam store. Oh my god, there's some rubbish on there. So the fact that there's not much out is to be expected, really. But it's just a good old-fashioned game of Space Invaders. Now, let me know actually for when I come back onto the chat. Is any of the, I know the VR effect won't come over, but is the 3D effect, are you getting an idea of the feeling of VR from the stream? Because it is a good little game, it really is, and it's quite a treat to play. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know if you've come in afterwards, I've already got this game on my PlayStation 3 years ago, and I got a 3D TV pretty much when they come out. And there was only a couple of, let alone a couple of films, there was certainly no games. But a little while after, they brought this out in 3D. So you had to have a 3D TV and run it through your glasses that you put on. And it was this exact game, and oh my god, I used to play it for hours, because it just purely from the delicious look that it gave in 3D. It was so good. And I used to think to myself, oh, I can't wait for this. They're going to start bringing out games, but it just didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere at all. There was this one and a Crash one, if I remember rightly. I can't think for the life of me what it was. It was one where you was like ragdoll physics, and you had to crash. But this game come out, and I just thought, oh, this is gaming, which it was at the time, and in a certain extent, it still is. And now I'm playing it many years later. On the PlayStation VR. Right, so I'm using the Rock Breaker gun at the moment. There are different guns.
Gold melter activated.
This one is a gold melter. but you can see it doesn't break. All the bullets work on all the objects, but some just break them down quicker than others. We've got an ice splitter. Let me know in the chat if you know this game, if you've experienced it in the past. I will come and chat to you in a minute. I'll scroll back up the chat so you won't get missed. I'll read out every comment. That's pretty powerful actually. That's clearing them up nicely. Oh, you're having a bomb. Oh my god. Oh, nice. Right, I'm going to come and chat to you now. Pretty sweet little game though, isn't it? And the resolution is nice as well. Right, let's have a look. Doctors, hello doctors, how you doing? What is this? Looks interesting. It's a Stardust Ultra VR. It's basically a very, very old game that has just come out in VR. And it is very good. Thank you, Blockish. It's Super Stardust Ultra VR. It's a mouthful, isn't it? I know, Alistair. You cheeky git. He's been watching for 10 minutes now and he's not dead. I know. Alistair likes to come in and just watch me die in whatever I do. Well, yeah, so far I haven't died, have I? It didn't last long. The weather picked up when I had to start. He's doing alright though, isn't he, Alistair? Surprisingly. Oh, see, nothing gets missed in the chat. Right, let's carry on. I still haven't died yet. Still haven't died. This is the same life. Right.
Rock crusher activated.
Oh, right, let's go.
Gold melter activated.
I like the gold melter. That is quite a sweet one.
Ice splitter activated.
I think actually this ice splitter is pretty sweet. So you didn't tell me, what does it look like on the stream? Is any of the 3D effect coming across? I know you can't get the VR effect, but are you getting an idea of what the possible effect it's giving? I love the way you can see the curvature of the atmosphere there. It's really good. You can see around the other side, and the bullets actually shoot round the atmosphere to the curvature around to the other side. Look, if you look up the top there. Very good. Very colourful, which is obviously necessary on a game like this. It's a bit of an eye feast, isn't it? There's just stuff going on. It needs to be colourful. And obviously, thank you for joining me, whoever's just come in. Ah, now look at that stuff coming out. It literally flies out to your face, and it really is cool. Right, I've died, Alistair. Sorry, mate. It's all going to start happening now, isn't it? This gets hard very quickly. But in a minute, we will go to the section that the developer has introduced. Basically, a new game. It's like another game. It's not like this at all. It's basically this in VR, in full VR. And it actually, although I haven't played it, I've watched many videos on No Man's Sky. It reminds me of what maybe No Man's Sky a little bit could be like in VR. So stick around because I will play that very soon. And we'll have a go on that and we'll have a go on this. And also what I like, oh shit. Because this has gone through many sort of iterations of different consoles and oh shit. It's happening now. There's loads of game modes. There's so much to do in this game, based around the same format, but there's so much to do in this game. There's even a section which I haven't looked into yet, it's still locked, where it says, and it probably wouldn't work for me because I do the streaming in my own way through the PC, but there's a bit where it says people can interact, so I'll have to have a look at that, because if it's worth streaming through the PlayStation service for one night, if you can interact, and I'm not sure what it is, it says your streamers can join in and cause mayhem, so that sounds good to me. Look at it, it's bloody mayhem though, isn't it? Oh!
Game over.
Game over. Right, I'm just going back up. Yeah, you remember this, do you, Moody? The 3D effectors, yeah. Spoke too soon, yeah, I know. Blockish doesn't remember this. Well, he's a young lad, isn't he? Lord Danke. Right, let's go into the other section. Let's go into the other section. I think you'll be impressed with that. Now, this bloody nose thing really annoys me. It's fine once you get it on and off.
Stardust.
Right, it's called Invasion Zone, right? So if you take into account what we've just been playing there, which is like a third perspective view, this goes into first person, and it's included in the game. Now the game is literally £10 at the moment. That's why I wanted to stream it and just show it to you. Anyone coming in or as a video afterwards can think, well, £10. Let's have a look, and I think it is worth it. Now, as I say, this game was fully priced. I think it started life as £24.99, then it went to £19.99, and obviously at that sort of sweet spot of asking top money for an old game, the developer had to introduce something new, and that's this Invasion Zone. So let's have a look at that. Now, for some reason, I've never really experienced sickness with the PlayStation VR. When I first got the Oculus, it would instantly make me sick. But even around that time, when I got the PlayStation VR, I was still very touchy with VR, certain movements. But the PlayStation has never done that, and it doesn't do it in this game either. Now look, we've got a whole new game introduced. Now, I don't know why. Maybe because it's got the green and the orange. But this game reminds me a little bit of the art style of No Man's Sky. So you can imagine a No Man's Sky in VR, can't you? Now, you don't control the altitude of this this spaceship. You just control left and right and the sort of the strafing. And the aiming is done through your head, as you can see. But this, I know there's not going to be much in-depth gameplay with this section, but you've got a mini-map below there, so he's behind me, isn't he? Now, I can't play Eve Valkyrie. I just can't play it. It's such a good game. It makes me feel sick. Now, this, I'm getting a little bit of with this, but not much. I can handle it. I can handle it. As I say, I don't think there's much going on, admittedly, but they have introduced a whole new gameplay. And this cockpit, I love cockpit games. I love them because they can really put the time in. Look at all this glass all around me. It's such a good feeling of glass. How do they do that? Absolutely love it. And look at, oh, the guns are moving with my head. It's pretty detailed, isn't it? It's pretty detailed. I like it. What do you think? I mean, it's pretty good, isn't it? To be included as part of that game, especially now at £10, I had to come on and just show potential PlayStation VR owners or people that have already got it. This is 100% worth £10, and actually quite good content for a tenner as well. It's pretty good. I like it. Now the VR on here is pretty sweet. It really is. And I don't know why. It's not a big thing, but it just literally reminds me of No Man's Sky. Just the, I think it's just the art style. Now, I'm not normally a fan of header aiming games. I don't like that because you end up sitting there like this, and it's all right. But it seems to be working at the moment. At the moment, it's working. Got the mini map down here. As I say, I don't think gameplay wise this is going to be too magical, but it's great to be included in that game. And like I say, you know, developers are, you can't blame them for rehashing a game time and time again, like Stardust. like I say, I got this on the PlayStation 3, you know. I'm going to come and see what you think of that. Look at the little, like, I don't know what it is, a little mascot on there. Pretty good, isn't it? I love the glass effect. It literally feels like I'm in this spaceship. Right, let's have a look. Let's go back. I'm just scrolling back up. Right, let's have a look. I've caught up. When Scarab back gets from Hollow, we'll get an Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, of course. Yeah. We're such beginners with Elder Scrolls, but yeah, we'll definitely do that. And yeah, where is everyone from last night? Scarab, Danky, Brainless. Well, not everyone comes in every night, do they? Ah, Brainless. That was good, wasn't it? Why don't you say everyone's name on YouTube, Blockish, then they'll all come in. Woody, Budget. Oh, I haven't seen them. Yeah, Woody. I think Woody works. He works nights, so yeah, he struggles to get in. How you doing, Brainless? How are you? Just turned up, as you said, actually. Yeah. See, we miss you, Brainless. You're all part of a great little community here, which hopefully me and Moody are building. Yes, Alistair. Yeah, we need to get back to that. Nearly everyone's here. Hello, Scarab. How are you? How's your holiday, mate? How's your holiday? I know, everyone you said. That's weird, isn't it, Blockish? Everyone you said is bloody turning up. Just got in. What did you miss? Well, yeah, pissed, I hope. Yeah, I hope you are pissed, Scarab. I'll get back to the game in a minute. Now we need Wood, Budget, and Lunatic. Scarab has clearly been on the San Miguel. No, Brainless, I moved the camera today and set it all back up. It seems to be sweet as a nut. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to Drive Club VR because I really did like that. Not tonight, but I'm going to be back. Yeah, no, I'm glad you're here, Brainless. Yeah. No broken hire cars today. What do you think of this VR section? Right, Scarab, what is this? Let me take you back to the beginning. Let's go back. Right. This is called Stardust HD Ultra. You will know this game. What I was showing you there, and which I will go back to afterwards. If we start at the beginning, you'll know this game. So let me, rather than explain it, let me show it to you because you'll know this all over. They've made it into a VR title for the PlayStation VR. You'll know it. As soon as you see it, you'll know it. I think you will anyway. And the bit that I was in just a minute ago was a separate side bit that they bolted on the side to give you value for money. This is the game. Now, I know you're going to know this game. I know you are. Because you're a gamer like me. And of a certain age, I think. So what they've done is they've taken Stardust HD, which was out under many iterations, and they've given it a... Actually, they haven't given this section an overhaul. This is what it is. This is Stardust, but they've just added VR content to it, and it looks really good. But what they have done, the bit that you saw when you first come in, they've added that on the side as like a... I know it's only a bolt-on side mission, if you like. But for once, a developer is actually trying to stretch their wings a little bit, and they may have even been using it as a bit of practice, mightn't they, you know? Maybe even that's going to be built into a title in the future. And they were seeing what sort of reception it would get. Because it's not, although it's like this game, it's not really similar to this game, is it? It is quite a change to be included in the same title. Yeah, it's a space game, but it's a cockpit game rather than a Space Invaders game. So it definitely wouldn't surprise me if they've maybe just testing the waters on something like that. Apologies for the issues last night, Scarab. That was a bit of a hash, that stream. A couple of improvements I've made. I've moved the camera, so I think I've solved the tracking issue. That because I'd only just put the camera up in that position, so. Although I tested it, I didn't do a long-term test, so I'm hoping that's fine now. And the other improvement I've made for VR streams, which I'm going to do now, rather than keep going back to the laptop, taking my headset off, I've got my phone on my lap, and I can just literally, especially with the PlayStation VR, I don't know whether you know, but you've got this little button under here which slides the lenses in and out. So all I need to do in this position, because I think that was messing up the tracking as well, keep coming out of the range of the tracking, taking the headset off, I can just press this button and get the old phone and just look down there and I've got it. So let me go back up. He's not dying tonight. Nothing to see here. Oh god. Jason's getting some good value this week. How you doing, Survey? How you doing, mate? Where are you? Where's Survey? I didn't see, I saw someone say hello to him. I didn't see his logo. How far did he come in? Or am I just imagining that? There's Survey. I got you. I have arrived. Sorry, yeah. Because I'm used to looking at it on my laptop. It's on my phone. How you doing, Survey? How you doing? Cheating Apple's still waiting for Titanfall 2. You'll get it, mate. You'll get it. Yeah, you'll get it. As you can see, Apple, we've got a nice group of people there. Right, let's carry on. And I don't have to keep repositioning the headset either. I was getting really annoyed with that last night. I put it on, and with the PlayStation VR, it just feels different to the Oculus. The Oculus is, there's no doubt the Oculus is the premium product, although you know, the PlayStation VR is very accessible by everyone. But you really have to do that. You really have to sit the headset on at a certain angle. Otherwise you get this sort of blurred effect. Once it's on, it's perfect, it's no problem at all. But when you, after each race, I was taking the headset off, losing tracking, losing the blurred bit, coming back in, the tracking was, it was a nightmare. It's still up on the channel. Hopefully if I've solved the tracking issue, I'll do another stream of it. And do what I'm doing here, just look down, and it'll be a much better stream, and I'll probably delete that one then. Because I do like a certain standard on my streams, if I can achieve it. But thanks for joining me, you lot, anyway. These little cheeky streams, I do enjoy them. Especially VR. I think it's actually one of the best ways to show VR off is to do it live. I think I might do all my VR content live, why not, you know? And I do love playing and chatting to you lot. Well, maybe the format I might do is my usual video and then go on to do some live streams of the titles. We'll see. We'll see. Any feedback from you lot is greatly appreciated, especially you regulars.
Gold melter activated.
I mean, that VR there, or let's call it the 3D effect, it's not the VR. Although you can lean in, you know, you can lean in and stand up and look around it, you know. But again, you're going to struggle with the tracking. You can bring it in there. So that's the VR effect, the fact that, you know, you can peer in and out of the picture, but we're talking about 3D effect really, aren't we? I don't know whether I prefer the world close or further away. I suppose it's easier further away. So the game I was fingering earlier, finger pointing earlier, was Rayman. I don't know if you remember Rayman. Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins, Rayman fucking everything, you know? And it's just on everything. And I think this game is a little bit like that. This has been on quite a few platforms. But I was impressed that obviously they took the time to make it into VR, which it was already in 3D on the PlayStation 3, so I doubt it was that much of a hard work. But I do like the way they introduced that VR section, the proper first-person VR section. I think that's really good. And like I say, for now it's 20 quid. Wow, £10, sorry. If you got a PlayStation VR, this is definitely a no-brainer. And it's quite easy going as well. It's not one of them ones where you got to stand up and flay your arms around, which I think are a little bit too much. I would just want to sit down and enjoy the new way of playing, which is VR. I don't necessarily want to stand up and have a workout each time I play. If I wanted that, I'd just stick to the Wii and no one would ever move on. I do like a seated experience game. Certainly room scale and jumping around has got its place, definitely got its place, but it seems every game at the moment requires you to have a workout. And I'm a lazy little bastard. It gets a bit hectic, doesn't it? Look at that. Like that 3D effect there, everything's shooting out, it's so cool. I just hope VR really does take off, because I remember, like I say, if you're in, I'm going to repeat myself now, but I remember playing this on the PlayStation 3 when I first got my 3D TV. The 3D content was so lacking, even more lacking than VR. I mean, there was a couple of games. I think the actual film was what's it called? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. I think that was the only film. And I always get sucked into the latest gadget. I'm just such a sucker, you know. I knew that it was terrible to buy at that particular time, considering there was about there was one film and about 2 demo discs. God knows why I brought it, you know, but I did. Oh my god. And I think a few months after I bought it, PlayStation jumped on the bandwagon and introduced a couple of VR games. And this was one of them on 3D. And it blew my mind. It looked really, really cool. Right, coming back to the chat. I saw Danky put finger in. Hello, Danky, how you doing? I knew that would wake you all up. Right, let's find out where you are. Here we go, right. Nice beef blockish. I wondered how he was reading the chat. Yeah, it just looks like I'm sitting here, doesn't it? I like it, I like it. I think I'll do it all by this way always. I'm a fan of tasty meats. Yes, you're right, Blockish. That was what was messing up the tracking, because after each race I'd come over here, get the laptop off, take it off, and it was just messing everything up. The PlayStation didn't like it. Anyone watch DC Lot? Anyone watch DC Lot? Sorry, yeah, Blockish? What's DC Lot? You tried the VR missions for this? Yes, JD. I was just showing that a minute ago. And then a good follower of mine, Scarab, come in. He wanted to know what the game was, so I took him back to the standard part of the game. And now, yeah, we're going to go in and do some VR missions. They're pretty good, aren't they, JD? DC Legends. Oh, okay. Yeah, welcome, JD. Did someone say fingering? 4 finger shocker. That's my I've got a son who's 20 as well as Max. I've got a son and a girl who's 18, or just about to turn 18. I've got a son of 20, and his Xbox name is 4 finger shocker. Oh my god. Grilled vegetables? Nah. How you doing, Danky? Nightbot, I subbed. I know, cheating. You have to remind people, because, you know, it's just the way YouTube is, isn't it? So if you are watching, there's 11 of you watching. If you are watching, you haven't subbed, please feel free to sub. If your subs are public, you get a little message come up on the screen, and I'll be able to hear a little message come up in my ear. Danky's graced us with his presence. Down bow. Bow down. Blockish is a fucking genius, I tell you. He was saying all the people that were missing, and it's almost like everyone they said has come in. It's really weird. I don't think you're going to get Budget and Woody, but you might get Lunatic. It's all good. Just saying, it's pretty dope. Did you already try the VR missions for this? Yes, but I'm going to go back. Don't worry. You need to get Elite as well. I might do Scarab. I might do. How long will he be playing this? Won't that get boring? Well, I suppose if it gets boring, you know, I don't mean it horribly, but yeah, just you know, you watch something else and come back later on. Apple, I like to have a chat. That's where I'm different. I don't just play. I like to have a chat, but you are welcome to stay, Apple. It's not a problem. And I'm going to flick through and do some of the VR missions as well. Danky's good. That's good. Henfrey's in. How you doing, Henfrey? Right, let's go and do. Actually, I will just carry on with this until I die, and then I'll take you in and do some of the VR missions because it is pretty good. Henfrey, you're of an age similar to mine. I'm sure you know this game, don't you? Stardust HD. Well, they've made it into a VR game for the PlayStation VR, and it's on sale at the moment. The PlayStation Store seem to be having quite a good little sale actually. This is £10. Now for £10, the game alone is worth £10, I think. But it has got a separate VR bit on it, which I think is quite good. It's certainly not going to blow your socks off, but if we go back to what I was saying earlier, on Steam, oh my god, some of the VR content you can get dragged into buying, and I'm sure that there's some dodgy reviews on Steam as well. Yeah, you can trust the review system, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I see some of them on there and I think, you only have to set up accounts, don't you? Especially the ones that come on there straight away after the game's released. I'm a bit like, oh. I'm sure if I had a game out, right, I would leave a few reviews just to get it started. Right, let's go and do
Stardust.
Right, if we have a look at challenges as well, this is oh no, it won't let me. I haven't plugged my network cable in actually. Let's go to Mission Zone. Let me just see if anyone else has come in. It's so easy now to chat to you. I only have to lift that forward. How you doing, Henfrey? Alright. I've blown about 50 quid on Steam sales. Oh god, it's happening, isn't it? It's happening. It always bloody happens, doesn't it? Yeah, out of everything, I still prefer the Oculus Touch titles. Yes, they've got a certain quality about them. Yes. Thanks for coming in, you lot. Anyway, I love it when you lot come in. It's nice to have regulars. I'll be happy just streaming to you lot. Right, Invasion Zone. So, going back to what I was saying earlier, this is a rehashed game. I used to have it on the PlayStation 3, let alone different variants of it. Even before that, I think there was a variant of it before the PlayStation 1. Now, what they've done is, this was a sort of 25 quid title when it first came out, and I think the developers tried to put some value into it by adding this VR section, which I was really surprised about. Really surprised. I didn't even know it was in there, and I was like, what? What's this? So you're sitting in this cockpit, a la sort of Valkyrie style. And I was like, oh, okay, so we're going to go around that world. But no, you're actually in the world. Now, this art style reminds me of No Man's Sky. Can you imagine a VR version of No Man's Sky? But look at the cockpit. I love cockpit games. I really do. Be it car, spaceship, all them sort of games where you're static and the world moves around you. Look at the effect of glass. Now that is better than Valkyrie on the Oculus. It is really good. That's one thing they do have trouble with, is getting 3D glass in VR. And there's this little haze off the top. I don't know whether you can see it. Yeah, you can see it, and it's all modelled behind me as well. And look at the guns moving with my head. It really makes me think this is a little test, and maybe this developer is thinking of releasing a title like this.
Disruptor.
And I think the good thing is, I mean, look, it all moves down there. Look at that, look. Really good. This is actually quite impressive. Now for £10, I think this will be certainly for PlayStation, because they do like their pound of flesh, don't they? They're a bit dry on the free content, but this will be probably in terms of VR and PlayStation, this will be the best £10 you'd spend without a doubt. I've played it for about an hour today, and I've just done an hour stream. I'm nowhere near bored with it. I know Apple said it could get boring. Yeah, I suppose it could. It's Space Invaders, isn't it? But this is pretty sweet. I do like the art style and the colour. I said when I popped into here earlier, I'm not a big fan of
EMP.
head aiming. I don't like it. But it does actually work on this one. And it's not making me feel sick at all. There's a little bit of movement when you go, a little bit of stomach movement when you go left and right. But I've never suffered with it as much as I did with the Oculus. I don't know what they've done, but I don't seem to suffer with sickness anywhere near as much on the PlayStation VR as I did when I started on the Oculus. Really good. I love that glass, all the bird edges of the glass, really good. And they're fully modelled behind. And even the tracking isn't complaining tonight. Phase 3. I mean, they've tried to theme it, haven't they, with all the things coming towards you, just like in the other game. But this has got no resemblance over the other game, really, not really. The other one's a sort of third person perspective. But I suppose it's got all the same enemies in there, which is quite good. There's a helicopter outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh my god, is it landing in my garden? That's really loud. Don't think you can hear it. I don't live in a war zone, honestly. Right, we've got the mini-map. Use the mini-map. It's not letting me change the weapon as it did with the other one. What's your thoughts on this though? For 10 quid, what do you think? And then I'll be able to know what you think when I come back to the chat. It's got to be worth a tenner, isn't it? It's got to be worth a tenner, especially with the PlayStation VR in its current dry season. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's content out there, but do you want any of it? And I haven't played it, but yes, I know Resident Evil is the bollocks. I know that just from watching videos and reading reviews. Of course, that's a must-have title if you like horror. I'm not a massive fan, even remotely fan of VR horror. I love VR. I love horror itself as a format. Love it, but for some reason, don't like VR horror. It really does tap into something in my brain. Right, let me chat to you. Reminds me of Battlezone. Yes, this bit does, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely brainless, isn't it? Right, a couple more, and then I think I'll call it a day there. I think Apple's right. It doesn't need to be a long stream. This can always go up as a video afterwards. Hopefully I've done some worthwhile rambling. So I think I'll finish this section. Have one more on the traditional section. I think he's right. I don't think I want to go on too long with it. Like I say, you don't control the height, which is interesting. Actually, I think you do the height. Let me have a look at the other control. No, you don't. No, I thought you did. You don't. Oh god, I'm getting absolutely done here. Be cool to have No Man's Sky as a VR title though, wouldn't it? That would certainly be one way to save that title, that's for sure. They could make a lot of money out of that as well.
Disruptor.
How do you use these things coming in? I'm pressing it, but... Oh, hang on. Right, okay. But this is a lot of moving around, and it's not making me feel sick at all. One trick you can do is just move your body just a little bit with the motion. That's what I've found. So if I want to go left, you can just move, and I mean literally minute movements to your actual body. A little bit forward, a little bit back, left and right. And because the sickness comes from your brain telling you that why isn't your body doing what your brain thinks it should be. So if I go back a little bit and just lean forward, lean right, and that is the way I overcome VR sickness. Because to start with, I did get it quite bad. Oh my god, did I? What game was it now? It might have been the Call of Duty. Might have been the Call of Duty experience.
Stardust.
Let me just come back to you. It might have been the Call of Duty experience. For some reason. Oh, shut the bloody... That's it, here we go. Yeah, for some reason I was having trouble with the video, and I think it lasted about 15 minutes, the experience, but I had to film it, I had to do it about 4 times on the trot, and I laid in bed that night, and inside I was deeply sick. It wasn't just something I could overcome, like, oh, I feel a bit funny. No, I felt sick, and maybe Hemfrey might even know what I'm talking about, because he's just got VR, he's in the chat now. But I felt deeply sick, and it took nearly all night to get over it. Right, let me go back. They found you, yeah. See you later, Alistair. Hope you haven't already gone, but yeah, good night, mate. Yeah, No Man's Sky VR, it could be a way out for them, couldn't it? And it could, you know, it doesn't have to be built from the ground up. The game's already there. I think it would definitely work, especially for PlayStation. I've noticed that poor old Brainless, he always puts Strum. I never mention it, but Alistair has. He's gone straight in there dry, using sand as fucking lube. He's gone straight in there. I always get words mixed up, and I think that is obviously one of Brainless's words he gets mixed up, but it's all good. Yes, bit of wonkiness, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it all depends on what you're playing, Scarab. Yeah, it is weird. But that's how I get over it. I do the most finite little movements, so I'm satisfying my brain that my body is doing what the game expects me to do. It's like if you had a moving chair that fitted the movements perfectly, you wouldn't get VR sickness. It's only because your body isn't doing... So say you're walking down the street in VR, your brain is completely fucked as to why your legs aren't moving and why you're not getting the motion. That's where you get the sickness from. It's not because I'm flying in space. There's nothing to do with that. It's because when my brain knows that I'm about to thrust left, but my body is sitting in exactly the same place, that's where the sickness comes in. A lot of people don't get that. They think it's because you're flying. Well, you're not flying, are you? You're just moving. And so I just give it the tiny little movement. Hopefully you don't notice. I've just told you now, I know. Right, this little one here, I haven't connected my PlayStation to the network, so it won't work, but it's got interactive streaming. An endless game with help or hindrance from your stream viewers. I'll have to find out what that is, because wouldn't it be good? It'd probably be a Twitch feature, I imagine. If it's streaming through the PlayStation service for one night, I'll stream through that rather than doing it through OBS and getting the green screen and all the rest of it. If you lot can interact, I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. Right, I think I'm going to have one more go and call it a night. But it's been nice streaming to you today. I say it on purpose, mate. I say stream instead of stream. Oh, that's cool, Brandis. Yeah, no worries, mate. It's all good. It will pass in time, Hemfrey. Stick with it, mate. It will pass in time. Right, yes, I'm going to have this one and call it a day, I think. Oh, I've got a cup of tea. Can you stick it down there, babe? Because I'm literally going to have this one and finish. Thanks, babe. A delivered cup of tea that I can't really make the most of because I'm stuck here. Right, Moody, let's do a bit of promo. What are we streaming tomorrow? I think you said we're doing Hardline, didn't you? I played it during the day yesterday, and you have to use the server browser. There's not much going on the quick game. There was enough games for us to have a game, certainly, but there's definitely the professionals still on the game. Oh my god, I got my arse handed to me on a silver platter with Henry going, "Your arse is ready, sir." But we can always do that for an hour or you know whatever, and then we'll just do something, won't we? It is Friday night, so we will be streaming tomorrow. So if you are watching, I do stream with another man called Moody Gamer. He is in the chat now. And yeah, I think we're doing Hardline tomorrow purely because we've got it and we haven't played it. And it is Battlefield after all. It looks so similar to Battlefield 4. God, it was such a cheeky reskin, wasn't it? It's such a piss take. I suppose you can't blame developers for doing that sort of thing. It's like this game, you know, you can't blame them for rehashing it. But at least the developer has included a section, that VR section, so you sort of put that on, you think, alright, okay, this, especially at £10, I don't think anyone could say this isn't worth £10 to have in your VR collection. Fingers crossed, this experience will pale into insignificance in a couple of years' time when we've got true VR material. I hope never to want to even think about revisiting this title in, say, a year's time. If in a year's time I'm thinking to myself, oh, I might stick Stardust on, then I'm sorry, but VR has failed. Because as far as VR is concerned, it's a lovely title and it's great. But, you know, VR is meant to be more than this, and it was promised more, wasn't it? So it just seems that it's taking its time to... I think Fallout will actually bring VR to a lot of people's front rooms. I really do. Now at the moment they're talking about it being just Vive, which is very disappointing. But even if it is Vive, it won't be long. There's no way that developer is going to turn down a different format to play the game in exactly the same way. You know, it's going to be easy. All they've got to do is change the control scheme for the Oculus Touch. So I'll be really pissed off and disappointed if that game isn't fully utilised for the Oculus. I don't mind if it ain't straight away. I don't care. I'm not bothered. I'm not missing it, and I've never played Fallout, or the latest one anyway. But I think a big game like that will really bring VR to a lot of people's like, yes, I think I'm going to get it. I mean, they're saying the entire game can be played in VR, so that excites me. We've got Gran Turismo coming, which is again going to be an awesome title for VR, but what I'm hearing is that it's not all going to be in VR. Oh, how ridiculous when I read that. It's like the old Gran Turismos, not all of the cars had the premium interior and the premium graphics. Only some cars had the premium graphics. That's ridiculous. So it seems that only some of the game is going to be in VR. Well, I don't want any of the game. I don't want to play it in any other way other than VR. I might as well play Project Cars on the PC if I'm going to just play on a normal screen, because I can play it in 4K. So I was very disappointed. I don't know whether they're just doing a crafty and they're going to do it as DLC. I don't know. I hope not. If they do, they do. I'll buy it. It's not a problem, but it's annoying, you know.
Gold melter activated. Bomb.
Bomb, 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 bomb. I think I like this ice splitter, even though that isn't ice, it's a rock. Obviously the ice comes on the later levels. This ice splitter, and I like the curvature. You can see around the world, and your bullets actually go around the world as well. I like that. Look. see if you've got any points to make or questions to ask. I like having the chat here, it's ideal, I like it a lot. Right. Blockish is black, good. How comes your missus never says hi? Oh, I don't know, yeah, she ain't going to just sort of storm in and get on the camera, is she? I don't think any woman would do that, would they, to a room full of strangers? Maybe one day we'll play a game together, you know? You're playing Hardline tomorrow? I think so. I'm waiting for Moody's reply, if he has replied. I think I'm going to cry. Why are you going to cry, Blockish? His missus brings him tea. I know, she's lovely, isn't she? Probably my favourite Battlefield game. Really? Okay. My missus was witness to it. She always does it, doesn't she, Scarabs? Lovely. Did you suggest that she as well when you're playing Xbox? Did you suggest that she do that for you as well when you're playing Xbox or PC? Yeah, of course, she brings them. Yeah, a couple of. But then I make her tea as well throughout the evening. You know, I put the sign on and then I slip off and make a cup of tea. Of course, I make her one. In fact, there was one night where I forgot. And she come in going, oh, you what? And everyone in the room was giving me stick for it as well. She's now gone to bed, yeah. What happened, Sco? Saying it's not like I... Saying it's not like I don't do nothing for you. Oh, God. She's going to be in the strop. Yeah, of course she's good. Blockish is black. Oh god. Yeah, cool, thank you Moody. Right, I'm just going to finish this one and I think that's pretty much it. I can put it up on the channel. Hopefully it'll be of use to someone, especially if you're considering buying it for your PlayStation VR. 100% recommendation, 10 quid. If you're buying it at the moment, oh my god. Trust me, I've spent £10 on a lot worse than this in VR and other things. Yeah, this is actually, it's a bit sad really, but this is actually quite a lot of VR for £10. And Henfrey and Scarab will back me up on that. This is actually this is a complete game. I'm so bored at the moment with every single game I buy being in early access and actually only buying 25% of the game. I don't know why I'm getting involved in it though. I sort of want to stop. I want to vote with my wallet and say no more. But then a game comes out and you're completely sucked into it. I don't like it at all. I'm going to try and not buy any more early bloody access, which actually just means totally unfinished. Let's just replace early access with totally unfinished. Because then you're buying an idea and about 2 levels. I hate it, I really do. Look at Gang Beasts. Oh my god, what a joke. That game has been out for about 3 years on early access, and me and Moody tried to stream it the other day. And we couldn't, it didn't bloody work. Another game which I do like, which I don't necessarily think needed to be early access, was Dead by Daylight. That is actually a game where they're constantly working on it, which I like. And a game I can understand being in early access, which is Star Citizen, purely because of its scale, purely and only because of its scale. They need to, on a game, look at that VR effect. On a game like that, you need feedback. Without feedback, that game would be just what the developers want rather than what we want. So I'm definitely understanding that. But going back to my point, £10 for what is essentially a complete game with bugs sorted as well, because it's such an old game. I think £10, this can sit in your collection for £10, and it's a great game. I always say this, I always say it. I think of everyone else, that's my problem. A great game to show people when they come round, especially, not so much now, because now PlayStation VR has sort of got into people's front rooms. Everyone knows VR now, so it's not too bad. And that's happened very, very quickly. It wasn't, say, 4 months ago. People would come round, you know, barbecue or whatever, and they'd spot it, and they'd say, what's that? And I'd be like, well, it's VR. VR? What do you mean VR? Virtual reality gaming? What? I've never heard of this. And I put the headset on a couple of people, and literally blew their mind. And I fucking love that. I love it. I don't know why. I mean, it's not my concept, is it? I didn't make it, but I love showing people, and especially people that particularly aren't into gaming. Like a game like this, all you need is to one thumb on one stick and one on the other. You'll see anyone will soon get this game. But I've literally blown people's minds. Like Henfrey recently is a recent Oculus owner. He would have done the experience. There's no movement because it come out before the Oculus Touch was included. It's just a visual demo, and you're standing on top of a building, what looks something like a Gotham game. Absolutely brilliant. People just, my wife pretty much screamed because she's not that good with heights on there. Absolutely brilliant. Right, everyone, I think that's it. I'll see if you've got any questions. Thank you, Moody. Thank you. Right, that's it. So yeah, I'm going to go, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. I do appreciate that. We will be streaming Battlefield Hardline. Moody didn't answer me, but I think we'll have at least... did he answer me or did I miss? I'm sure we'll do at least an hour of what am I bloody talking about? You know what I mean. We'll do at least an hour of Hardline tomorrow. So yeah, that's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, everyone.